Ever wondered why massive companies like Apple or Tesla show billions in assets on their balance sheet? But it's not cash, not stock, and not even buildings you can see. It's something called PP&E, and understanding it can literally reveal how a business really makes money. In the next 6 minutes, I'll break down what property, plant, and equipment actually is, how it impacts profits, and its importance to evaluate a company's true value. Stick with me till the end, because I'll show you a real balance sheet example and you'll be able to read PP&E like a pro, even if you've never opened an accounting book. Property, plant, and equipment, or PP&E, represents one of the most critical categories of assets on a company's balance sheet, encompassing the tangible, long-term resources that businesses rely upon to generate revenue and sustain operations. These fixed assets form the operational backbone of enterprises across industries, from manufacturing plants and machinery to office buildings and vehicles. Understanding PP&E is essential for investors, analysts, and business managers alike, as it provides valuable insights into a company's capital investment strategy and long-term financial health. Defining property, plant, and equipment. PP&E refers to non-current, tangible capital assets that companies hold for more than 1 year to support their core business operations. Unlike intangible assets such as patents or copyrights, PP&E assets are physical in nature and can be touched and observed. The term encompasses 3 primary components: property, including land and buildings; plant, such as machinery and manufacturing equipment; and equipment, including vehicles, office furniture, and computers. These assets are classified as fixed assets because they are not intended for sale in the ordinary course of business, but rather for long-term use in production, service delivery, or administrative functions. The defining characteristic of PP&E is that these assets are expected to provide economic benefits extending beyond a single accounting period. Recognition and measurement. According to accounting standards such as IAS 16 and AS 10, a company should recognize an item as PP&E only when 2 fundamental criteria are met. First, it must be probable that future economic benefits associated with the asset will flow to the company. Second, the cost of the asset must be measurable with reasonable accuracy. Initially, the company measures PP&E at cost, which includes not only the purchase price but also all expenditures necessary to bring the asset to its intended location and condition for use. This comprehensive cost calculation encompasses import duties, non-refundable taxes, delivery and installation charges, site preparation expenses, and initial testing costs. The net PP&E balance on a company's balance sheet is calculated using a specific formula. Net PP&E equals gross PP&E plus capital expenditures, accumulated depreciation. Gross PP&E represents the original cost of all property, plant, and equipment assets. Capital expenditures, or CapEx, are investments in new assets or improvements to existing ones. Accumulated depreciation is the cumulative amount of depreciation expense recognized over the asset's lifetimes, reflecting the reduction in value due to wear and tear. Depreciation, allocating cost over time. Depreciation is the systematic allocation of an asset's depreciable amount over its useful life. This accounting technique does not reflect the actual loss of market value but rather matches the cost of the asset with the revenue it generates across multiple periods. The depreciable amount is calculated as the asset's cost minus its salvage value, which is the estimated value remaining at the end of the asset's useful life. It is important to note that depreciation is a non-cash expense. While it appears on the income statement and reduces reported profit, it does not involve an actual cash outflow. The cash outflow occurs at the time of the asset's purchase and is recorded as capital expenditure on the cash flow statement. Land holds a unique position among PP&E assets as it does not depreciate over time because of its indefinite useful life. If you find the video helpful, please like it, as that will be helpful for my channel. Components and examples. PP&E encompasses a diverse range of tangible assets depending on the nature and industry of the business. Common examples include land parcels, office buildings, factories, manufacturing machinery, production equipment, delivery trucks, computers, and office furniture. The composition of PP&E varies significantly across industries. Capital-intensive businesses such as manufacturing companies, oil and gas corporations, and construction firms typically maintain substantial PP&E balances, as these physical assets are fundamental to their production processes. In contrast, service-oriented businesses like consulting firms or software companies generally have much lower PP&E investments. Strategic importance. For financial analysts and investors, examining a company's PP&E provides crucial insights into capital allocation efficiency, operational capacity, and competitive positioning. A growing PP&E balance typically indicates expansion and investment in future productive capacity. When management commits substantial capital to purchase fixed assets, it demonstrates faith in the company's long-term prospects and growth trajectory. Understanding how PP&E is recognized, measured, depreciated, and reported is essential for stakeholders seeking to evaluate a company's operational efficiency, investment strategy, and overall financial health. Here is the PP&E balance sheet of Alpha Tech Industries and ExxonMobil Corporation. Pause the video and read it. If you want to read it in detail, go through the link in the description. Support my channel by buying me a coffee, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel.